In Spanish, the verb gustar means to like, as in me gusta la pizza. I like pizza. However, it's important to understand the true meaning and structure of what defines the verb, along with other verbs like gustar. In a sentence like me gusta la pizza, the structure follows an indirect object pronoun plus gustar plus the subject. As a reminder, Spanish indirect pronouns are me, te, le, nos, os, les, but they do not mean me, you, him. They mean to me, to you, to him, because they receive something in context, like saying, me gusta el libro, te gustan los deportes. You might have noticed that gustar is conjugated differently, and there is a reason why. Gustar and verbs like gustar must agree with what's being said, not the person. The verb changes from gusta to gustan because the action turns from singular to plural subjects. This is also true with infinitives, like me gusta correr, me gusta estudiar. In these phrases, the verbs are the subjects themselves, so gusta will always stay singular. In essence, the function of indirect object pronouns always points to a direction. So saying me gusta la pizza, I like pizza, is not a literal saying. Because me means to me, the true pattern of the saying is to me, pizza is pleasing. So gustar doesn't really mean to like. Although it's a saying, it's given a logical interpretation to what is typically said in English. But the true saying is, to me, pizza is pleasing, indicating a direction towards pleasing something. This is also true about te gustan los deportes. Sports are pleasing to you. The conjugation of gustar can only work in this way. Gusta is pleasing. Gustan are pleasing. So, it's not possible to say yo gusto, tu gustas, etc. because in Spanish, an indirect object with gustar makes a person, and the subject is the thing. This can be a hard concept to comprehend, but with more practice, you will eventually understand the use of the verb in written and spoken Spanish. Considering how it works, it's also important to point out clarification with a plus a person. This is a topic that I explained with prepositional pronouns in Spanish, which I recommend watching, because here it will make the most sense. Spanish often adds emphasis to specify the subject and avoid ambiguity, like saying, le gusta el fútbol. Le is an object pronoun that can mean to him or to her, so to specify, we can say, a él le gusta el fútbol, or le gusta el fútbol a él. This way, we know that the object pronoun is a masculine person. A él is a prepositional pronoun that specifies the person, and le is an object pronoun. As I said in the pronoun video, a plus a person can be used with any subject for emphasis, and can go at the beginning or at the end of a phrase, like a mí me gusta el café. Me gusta el café a mí. In this case, a mí emphasizes that the object pronoun refers to me, but because me is specific enough by itself, it will often not be needed. In most situations, a subject is specified with le, because this pronoun is too ambiguous. So, this is how the verb gustar fully works in Spanish, and now we can finally see other verbs that function in the same way. The structure follows an indirect object plus a verb plus a subject, so this idea applies to all verbs like gustar. One common verb is encantar. Its literal meaning is to enchant, but typically it's given a normal definition, like to love or to really like. Me encanta la música. nos encantan las películas. A ella le encanta bailar. Throughout these sentences, you will see how each verb is used logically and literally in English. Another verb is interesar, to interest. Me interesa la psicología. Te interesan los idiomas. A ellos les interesa viajar. Another verb is aburrir, to bore. Me aburre la clase. Nos aburren los libros largos. Another verb is fascinar, to fascinate. Me fascina la historia antigua. Les fascinan los animales. Another verb is doler, to hurt. Doler is very common in daily conversation and is also stem changing. Me duele la cabeza. Me duelen los pies. A él le duele el brazo. You can even see how body parts are used with articles, because the pronouns already specify who the body part belongs to. Another verb is faltar, to be missing or to lack. Me falta dinero. Nos faltan 2 estudiantes. Another verb is quedar, to fit or to look good. Me queda bien la camisa. Te quedan grandes los zapatos. In conclusion, Spanish has many verbs like gustar, but learning all of them is too much. Instead, it's better to know the most common ones, along with the fact that these verbs do not work like regular verbs. The key ideas are that the pattern never changes and that only the verb changes meaning. So that's how verbs like gustar fully work in Spanish.